Good afternoon, everyone. This is Euclid Book 5, definitions number 12 and 13. Okay. Today we're going to be talking about alternate ratios and inverse ratios. I know my hair is a mess. It is New Year's Eve, so who cares? Anyway, let's start with a little proportion here. Okay. This is an actual ratio here, and so is this. We have a ratio of 2 to 4 and 3 to 6. Okay? Now, I know it's not written in the correct form, okay? It should actually be 2:4 and 3:6. But I think you'll better understand it if you look at it this way. Okay? So 2 is to 4 as 3 is to 6. Well, what's 2/4? Well, that's 1/2. What's 3/6? That's 1/2. Okay? An alternate ratio says that you have 2 is to 3 as 4 is to 6. Okay, so what we've done is we've switched the positions of the 4 and the 3. We put the 3 in the 4 spot and the 4 in the 3 spot. And if you'll look here, if you divide this by 2, 2/3 will actually equal 2/3. Isn't that neat? So the alternate ratio says you have to take the antecedent in relation to the antecedent. Well, this is an antecedent, this was an antecedent, okay? And the consequent in relation to the consequent. Well, this was a consequent and this is a consequent. So these two consequents forms a ratio, these two antecedents form a ratio, and they form an equal ratio. Okay? Now, what about an inverse ratio? Well, we got this inverse ratio up here. All right. So what we've done is we've taken the 2 and the 4 and we've come up with the reciprocal. Do you remember me having a video with a little girl doing a backflip talking about reciprocals? If you don't, go way, way back and you should check that out. Then come back here. Okay. So the inverse ratio is actually the reciprocal of the original ratio. The original ratio was 2 is to 4, so the inverse is 4 is to 2. Okay? And what you can do is you can actually have a ratio of 4 is to 2 as 6 is to 3. And if you divided all that stuff out, you would find out that both of them equal 2, and therefore they still be equal. Okay? So 4 is to 2 is the inverse of 2 is to 4. Okay? So this is actually the reciprocal of that. So that's what an inverse ratio is. The exact definition reads as follows. Inverse ratio means taking the consequent as antecedent in relation to the antecedent as a consequent. In other words, basically what you can say here, four is to 2 as 2 is to 4. Now they're not equal, okay, but this is definitely the inverse of that. If you were to flip this upside down, that's what it'd become. Alright, now let me take a look at my book here. No, we are not quite done with Euclid's definitions, but we will get more on here as quick as we possibly can. I will tell you more in a future video, so stay tuned.